Because we made it like that. You'll see. Because once you go in and you do like the Photoshop effects, he ends up making it round, so it's a circle. So it spins while it's moving around. Everybody on the live stream?
I am. I'm watching. One person watching.
I'm watching. Where is that? I'm watching.
One watching.
Look, 280. Even though it's actually live. You're a mellow.
All right, we good to go? You'll catch up. You don't see it?
I don't recommend it.
This is new. I don't know.
Send your life, bro. Yeah.
4chan threads. Definitely no way that 4chan.
I'm streaming. It says that I'm streaming.
You're right.
You just can't see it. You have to publish it, maybe.
What?
Oh yeah, no. 4chan is banned because of friendship, not because of anything else.
I'm gonna.
4chan is
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Now it's there? Yeah. I think it was the software.
Yeah.
They give them flickers. I think that's what it was.
All right, so yesterday we left off with the overlapping of the collectible. What do you think would be the next step after overlapping collectible and adding one to the score?
I never even added one to the text because I can't. I don't know.
Sorry,
why,
what?
For some reason,
Yeah, we'll get there. But we're just kind of doing the code yet right now, and then we'll add in the text and everything. All right, so what do you want? What do you want to happen to the collectible when the player goes over it? Destroys. So that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna add in destroy in the action. So you're gonna go to the actions. You're gonna go collectible, and you're gonna just do destroy.
we just need to add a score though.
All right. Once you add in destroy,
The collectible.
you're gonna go to the layout,
Why is this
and you're gonna double click on. You're gonna double click and create particles.
Oh yeah, that's why.
We're gonna add in some nice effects.
Why does this not pop up here?
You have 19 subscribers. Subscribe. Make it 20.
Smash that like button.
All right. So once you get the particles pasted and you get this window, we're gonna resize it.
Can you tell me why this isn't working?
It's gonna be 10
Why is it not?
by 10.
10 by 10.
Hold on, let's run out of the. Hold on.
Yeah, it's gonna be that off-white. It's gonna match the collectible.
This isn't actually going. I hate put in the background layer disappears for some reason. Why? Why does it go on the background layer? It's locked. Don't go there. I know, active layer.
Wait, what?
You're adding in particles. So once you will go there, you're gonna make it 10 by 10 for size.
What should the color be?
Mister, I need help.
It's gonna be
Because
250,
apparently I missed
250,
that. I don't know what it is. A garbage can is a good thing because it's preventing with the earthing dying. It's there, it's just for some reason you're not there.
Particles or did you add on a spray?
It's on the player layer shows it, so.
So that's what it is. So you need to go delete that. Go into your project.
Wait, is this a particle player or
Delete that spray. Now go back here. And you're gonna add in.
No.
And then you're gonna make it 10 by 10. Make it all white. Yeah.
I'm just trying to need assist list.
It's particles for the
What flavor you think it's in? Watermelon?
Now that's the player layer.
All right, so you got your particles, yeah.
You couldn't figure it out. No, wait.
Hey, you did it.
All right, quiet.
Oh, flavor.
Stop lying.
All right, you're gonna rename this, guys. Come on.
Wait, does the player rotate?
Play.
Okay, I told you.
Hold on. All right, step one thing at a time. All right, we're gonna get to it. Trust me. Most of your questions will be answered. All right, you're gonna rename this to Particles White.
Particles white. Oh, wait, that's not
All right. So I got my name right there. Particles White. All right, after that, you're going to go to the Properties menu on the side, and you're going to change the spray cone value right here. Spray cone. You're going to change that to 360. You're going to change the type to one shot. It's in the Properties menu when you select your particles. 360 for the spray cone, and then type is one shot. And then you're going to change your rate right here above the spray cone to 200. All right, and then we're not done yet. You got to go down to the initial particle properties below. You're going to do the speed. The speed is going to be 200. It's going to stay the same. The glow rate, right here, the glow rate is going to be -5. Yep, you're still in particles, so it's the initial particle properties. -5. And then the speed stays the same as 200. Size is going to be, the size is going to be 5.
Size randomizer?
Nope, size.
Oh, yeah.
5. And then speed randomizer is going to be 50.
Oh, so it doesn't like put it back.
Why is it not even there?
You're going to go down to the lifetime properties underneath the initial particles.
Why is it not there?
Make sure the acceleration is set to -150. It's already there for mine. And then you're going to do destroy mode is set to fade to invisible. It's already set. So you're down in the bottom section, the particle lifetime properties, okay? Acceleration needs to stay -150. And then the speed, then the destroy mode needs to be fade to invisible, yes? So, wait.
Hey, you there. So this is lifetime properties, and this is initial particle properties. Look, oh my god.
And then
It really takes a while. This part of person, you're probably going to be worse.
All right. So you got it set up. That's all the properties for the particles. You're going to go back to your event sheet. You're going to add an event. It's going to be collectibles. And then you're going to do onDestroyed. You're going to add an action. You're going to select collectible. Then you're going to do spawn another object. You're going to choose particles white for your object. Yep, you're going to do player layer. You have to do the little quotations. And then image point stays at 0.
You know what? Image point stays at 0.
Image point stays at 0. So now when you run the layout, I'll be right there. I'll be right there.
Why is it not there? You didn't set it there.
You'll see some particles.
Uncollectible destroyed. Spawn white, spawn layer.
And the image point stays at 0.
I broke it again. I'm really bad. I didn't even change anything.
Guys, don't forget you have the live stream to go back to. That's the point of the live stream. You can rewind it and look at it. I will help you, but for some of you...
What do you want? I have lost pitches.
Get it back. 3 times in a row.
What?
Oh, look at that. I made it work. Because of the live stream. That's why it's there. Now it's actually not.
Speed red minus stays at 0.
That's just ridiculous.
Look, for a second it goes right into
Really?
What is that?
it's very sad.
That's even more sad. I want a potato.
You are a potato. No.
You smell like a potato.
Your brain is a potato.
Smell like hummus. Hummus smell good. I haven't smelled hummus. I don't know. You would do hummus. Look at all the particles. Look at all the particles. Boom. Oh, this is $1 million idea right here. I'm gonna regret this in the future. 'Cause I
Mine's
don't
not there
delete
yet.
every single one of these, but try. Wow.
All right, so yeah, no, he's right. It is supposed to be there already. So what did you do different with your
I'm
code?
gonna give out like what I meant. Big boy.
Bad.
Oh yeah, that needs to be directly in the middle. Where's the directly in the middle piece?
What the hell?
Like 480? What?
You did particles as particle white. You're spawning.
You know how good I am at Fortnite?
I
play football.
They don't. For school?
No.
Exactly.
At this school.
Wait, so you're
What do you
playing
mean not
names.
this?
Oh my god. That's what's happening.
Why would you
Okay.
So change out the player and change that other one's particles white. Yeah.
My particle is supposed to be like a circle.
Like doing that.
Wait, he's talking about what if he shot you there?
Yeah, it's supposed to do it in a circle like that.
Yeah, why is mine not doing that?
Oh, because
Go back.
Go back.
Go to your properties. You have to go to your it's in your properties. What it is.
I need one part.
Now, shoot this to.
Spray cone needs to be 360. That's your problem.
There's supposed to be 200.
All right, we're gonna move on.
And this is supposed to be.
All right, so we're gonna start adding in spawning the enemies. All right. So we're gonna add an event. You're gonna select system. You're gonna do every X seconds.
Let's get it. You already know
How many seconds? 1 second?
Every X seconds. And then you're gonna do, for the value, you're gonna do random.
Random.
This guy had 0.72.
Big truck. Peanut butter.
The 1.3.
All right. He had 0.7 and 2. Every random 0.7 and 2 seconds, they're spawn. So you could change that. You could play with that. This is what he had, so I'm gonna go by it. You're gonna add the action in, and you're gonna select system. You're gonna do object to create. Create object. Yep. You're gonna select enemy rotate.
Oh, he had me fooled for a second.
And then for layer, you're gonna do player layer, obviously. The X is gonna be random. And it's gonna be 30, comma, 820. And the reason why he does that is so it's not spawning all the way to the edge, all the way around, so that way if you have to get around, it's still fair for you. Because if you had him spawning all the way to the edge, it'd be a little bit more challenging. And then this one's gonna be random as well. And then this one's going to be 3450. Alright, and then you're gonna, the way he does it is so you're gonna select the whole thing, you're gonna copy and paste it 3 times. So all you have to do is just do Control C and then Control V 3 times. You'll understand. So you'll have all the way down to event 8.
Oh, they're spawning in massive amounts.
No.
Oh no, it's like the horde.
Alright, go into event, listen up. Event 6. I'm pretty sure I closed it out. No, I didn't actually. Alright, you're going to go into event 6 and you're going to change the enemy. It's going to be enemy sign horizontal. Yep, you're going to change it so that way you get all 3.
And the same for collectibles?
Hold on. Seven.
Alright, now we need to make it so they delete it so this is actually fair.
Look at this screen.
Alright, so this one stays the same. Alright, so 5 is enemy rotate. 6 is horizontal sign.
Ooh. Oh, there's jukes.
7 is vertical sign.
Oh, I know.
And then 8 is the collectible. Yes, 8 is the collectible. In event 8, you are going to change this part right here. Alright? This is not going to be random 0.7. It's going to change to just the number 2.
Wait, random every 2 seconds.
Yep, so event 8. Random.
I guess it doesn't matter.
You could just, yeah, you could change it to just 2 or random. It doesn't really matter. You could do just 2.
I think just 2.
Alright.
Yeah, now I need to make it so that they actually break themselves.
Yes, Mitchell.
It doesn't destroy the collectibles.
Your thing doesn't destroy the collectible?
Not
That.
the party.
So,
You're going ahead.
yeah, so on your event 3, it's,
Is there a way, are we gonna make it so they don't
go over it, go.
Oh.
Why?
So on your event 3, go to your event 3. Alright, it should be player is overlapping collectible.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of it.
Add 1 to score, even though we don't have the score in it yet, and then it should say collectible destroy.
Yeah, it does.
And the particles.
It says all that.
Can you eventually make it so it doesn't spawn on you?
Like,
Mr.
literally
Wilkos.
Not on you, like on you though.
Do you want to see what's going on with Mitchell's? Thank you.
Can I make it so that they touch you and destroy you?
Alright, we're going to add another event. Alright? You're going to select enemies.
No, the collectibles.
You're going to do on created. You're going to do add action. You're going to add it to, this is where I messed up. Where's his?
2017.
No. K-17.
Why would you kill me like that? Oh, that was a fail.
Yeah, we can't fight each other.
That's the he has a 2.3, that's bad.
Pinkie Pie.
No, you need to watch this. I forget the name. This was the best YouTube video that not the best YouTube video.
That's Safe Hogan. That's a really
I remember the name, but I messed up. I'm just the name messed up.
Alright, so you're gonna select system.
Yeah, this one's funny too. I watch all of them.
Yeah, and you're gonna do weight.
Because it's like a parody. It's a parody. It's funny.
And then you're gonna add it, you're gonna put 8 seconds.
Wait, whoa. System wait 8 seconds. Hold on.
You're gonna add another action in. You're gonna select enemies.
Destroy.
And then you're gonna do destroy.
Boom! Look at this. Look. Oh.
So now when you play it,
There we go. Look at this.
your enemies will wait 8 seconds and they'll disappear.
Particles when they destroy, so it makes it actually.
So that way they're not just a whole bunch of them. So what we did was we made it so every 8 seconds your enemies will disappear and new ones will spawn. So that way they're just not staying on the screen, because eventually if you did that, they would just, the screen would fill up with black squares and you wouldn't be able to play. Next, I want you to, or I'm gonna walk around, make sure everybody's there. I want to see if you can figure out how to create black particles for the enemies, so that way when they disappear, they have particles as well.
System.
I already did it for a player.
Or no. Enemies.
Player.
Destroy.
You guys.
I add action. I need to add black. So make it so now when the enemies disappear, particles. They particles. What's black again? Is it no. Mr. What? No R&D for sure. R&D.
50-50-50.
That's it. Thank you. For what?
How's everybody doing back here? Keeping up?
You can't open it. Yeah, all the two he's got. You see those he's got. Probably not. Hey, you lied to me. You ain't got the Yeezys. Those are Yeezys. Yeezys got. So, this is. Black one. Wow.
They use
Black.
me too.
Racist. Who? Sean. Sean. Yeah, you don't. He called you up, John.
What?
Yeezys, John? Because we. They have some property. Have you sold those yet?
Black particles.
Yeah, try to create some black particles. The easiest way to do it, clone it, and then change the properties. Properties are already set. You can play with the size, so that way maybe it's a little bit smaller for the black ones. So that way it's not as obnoxious as when you get the collectible.
Black, I'm not racist, so.
I'm beating you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Mister, what was the sizes of the, was it 5 or 10? 5?
Why didn't you just clone the white particles?
A lot of work.
That's so much more work.
Wait, is it one?
They're just like right there. I can just talk. Roll rate and like all the gaps.
particles.
When big up like they do.
So you can just do, you would probably do enemy, when destroyed,
I can destroy
you know,
enemies though.
like when they just, because when they get destroyed, so enemies uncreated, they wait 8 seconds and then they get destroyed.
Oh yeah.
So from there, how would you go about it?
Enemies destroyed.
There you go. You're getting it.
Ooh, you alright? Yeah. Yes, he deserved that.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna create my black particles.
Real cool. What the black particles?
Look at the fireworks. Oh my god, the fireworks are everywhere.
Okay, this is me. Look at this.
Yeah.
You're so bad.
I even got my own logo.
So I renamed mine to Particles Black, so that way when we do the code, it's not as confusing. I'm also going to change some of the settings for it. Alright, I'm going to change the rate in the properties. I'm going to change the rate
What's your full name?
to 50. And then I'm going to change the speed to 100 in the initial properties.
Yeah, it's really fun. I need to make the black part so smaller.
So I'm going to create an event. I'm going to do enemies on destroyed. I'm going to select enemies for my action. Spawn another object. Choose particles black. Layer is player layer. Image point stays at 0. So now when I run it, you're gonna see as they leave, they will have particles as well. So you have them as continuous. You gotta change the setting to one shot. Is everybody good with their particles?
Agree that YouTube's dead. YouTube is dead. No, it's not. No one likes YouTube. Who does YouTube? Everybody uses you.
All right, we're gonna be moving on. We're gonna add event 11. All right, we're gonna add in an event. It's gonna be collectibles. It says on created. For the action, you're gonna do system. And you're gonna do wait.
What are we doing?
Adding an event 11. Collectibles on created. And then the action is system. And then you're gonna do wait. And then for the time you're gonna do 7. And then you're gonna do collectibles. And then you're just gonna do destroy for action 2.
Wait, so add. Wait, so on collectible created, what are we doing?
Destroy. You wait 7 seconds.
You wait 7 seconds and then you set it to destroy.
So it's not there forever.
Yes.
I'm just too fast though. Like, none of them are ever going to disappear.
Woo!
It is not.
Oh, that's not very fair now, is it?
You're not very fair.
Why do you do me like that?
That wasn't fair.
All right, next we're gonna work on adding in text for the score. All right, so you're gonna double click. You're gonna do text. You want to put it in a 0 space. So remember how when we did the spawning of the enemies, we did it so that around the edge there's a ring. Yes. We'll get there. Right now, I don't believe we had to do that until we do the menu thing. So we made it so that the enemies wouldn't spawn all the way on the edge. You want to put your score in one of the edges, so I'm going to put it right here in the corner. All right, you're going to change the name to text score. In the text, you're going to change it to score 0. You can play around with the fonts. This guy likes impact. And he picks size 48.
Get butt naked and sharp. You don't know what I'm talking about, John? It's fun. You can raise rats.
Alright, so I got that there. I'm going to change the horizontal alignment to center. The vertical alignment to center. And then he made his score white. It's up to you. I'm just going to follow his.
Why are you playing game class instead of working?
Make them explode bigger and more. What the?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. And again.
Alright, once you get all that set up, you got to go to the common area. You're going to change opacity to 80. And then you're going to select Z order. You're going to right click on the score, Z order, and you're going to select send to bottom of layer.
Okay.
Wait, whoa, where do you see the order?
You're going to right click on the score, on the text, and then it says Z order right there.
Oh, send to top and bottom.
Send to bottom.
You never have. God, move your back.
Does the score have any properties?
Huh?
Does the score have any properties?
Oh my god.
So like what we did in the properties menu. Yeah, so we put the name, we did select the font, size. You have to do the horizontal alignment to center, the vertical alignment to center. You have to change the hotspot to center as well. And then the color, he did 250, 250, 250. And then you drag it into a corner. So for me, I'm doing the bottom right. And then you have to go into the common section in the properties menu. And you have to do opacity is 80. And then once you do that, you right click and you select Z order. And you're going to move it to bottom of the layer. Alright, we're going to stop here. Tomorrow we'll continue with adding in functions for the score and moving on from there. Hopefully it will get a little bit more exciting from here. We'll do a little bit more with actions and stuff like that. We got through most of the non-fun stuff.